right, next case is Nguyen versus Nguyen. I need to see everybody's video. All right. Samara Nguyen. Okay, great. All right, okay, let me see. All right, everybody is testifying in this case. Please raise your right hand. You swear for the testimony you're going to give is going to be the truth. Samara Nguyen, you need to raise your right hand. You swear for the testimony you give is going to be the truth, the whole truth, under penalty of perjury. Take that out your mouth and please say yes or no.
Yes.
Your video is on, Samara.
Yes.
Okay. All right. The burden of proof is on Samara Nguyen, as you heard earlier. The burden of proof is what we call a probable cause hearing, and make a determination if there's sufficient probable cause to issue a warrant in this matter. And as indicated earlier, the accused, who's Michael Nguyen, you are not required to say anything. You have the right to remain silent. You also have a right to have an attorney represent you at any and all proceedings. You also have the right to cross-examine any and all witnesses. And you also have the right to testify yourself and bring any other documentation that you may have in support of your defense. But you also have, with those rights, you can waive all those rights and decide to testify yourself. But I do want to caution you that anything you say can be used against you in any future proceedings if necessary. But I don't think this is going to be one of these situations as there's no recording of it. We don't have a court reporter. So, however, I just have to let you know that, okay?
All right.
Tell me what's going on, Samara Nguyen.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening.
Thank you for having me show forth this case today. So I was assaulted numerous times, and the images that I submitted to the magistrate depicts the bruising on my chest. I didn't show the graphic images because a lot of them were on private areas, and it was extremely graphic because he had cut into my flesh. Hold
on 1 second. Madam Clerk, did we receive any evidence in this matter?
Not that I saw, yeah.
I don't see any pictures at all.
Okay, I received an email stating that it had been accepted, it had been received. That was the rebuttal that I received from the magistrate email.
I checked for you, Judge.
Okay. Thank you. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I can pull up I believe it was the PP number that was attached in the subject line of the evidence that was submitted. So when I was attacked, I had to see an oncologist because my tissue was damaged and I was bleeding and my wounds were in risk for an infection. I had been assaulted numerous times and my tissue had been damaged, leading to another surgery that I needed to have. Upon being attacked again by the assailant, I was unable to have surgery at that time because of the constant attacks that I was under. And my children were also attacked. I reported to the police department that my car was also tampered with that prevented me from traveling. And I took it to the Audi dealership, Peachtree Industrial, and they looked over it. They thought what was a battery problem. They replaced the battery. And then the issue showed itself once again, where I had to purchase a new car because my infant children was in danger with me driving in the vehicle.
I mean,
He entered.
Hold on, Ms. Nguyen. First of all, let me. I asked you earlier a question. What is the relationship between you and Michael Nguyen?
There is no relation.
Okay. Were you guys ever at any point previously married?
On paper, I was a roommate, and
no, that's not what I'm asking.
It was a.
It's not such thing as a room. It's not something on paper. Were you previously married to Mr. Michael Nguyen? That's a very simple question.
I believe he took me to the courthouse to sign something. As far
how
as
did you get his name?
It was a court document. It changed my my maiden name over that I had as an adoptee.
You were adopted by Mr. Nguyen?
I was adopted, and he had like basically like identity theft, where he had put my name on a car and different items and credit cards in his name, and was trying to basically take my assets. And I had contacted the police for identity theft and theft and assaults. And
how many times have you contacted the police?
I've contacted the police after the assaults, and I've other times when he entered my premise, I contacted him over a handful of times, or have sufficient documentation stating that he entered the house, poisoned the food that my children and I ingested, leaving us very ill, also damaging the property, tracking my cell phone device. This is also my emails, which I have to go ahead and get a felony warrant for him also, because I was told by Judge Thompson that it's a felony for an individual to go ahead and hack your emails. So that's also what I have to do to receive justice.
Okay. Okay, so I'm looking at here this matter, and I'm looking at some pictures. Looks like that you have some receipts here from Audi, but I'm not quite sure how that relates to this situation.
Yes, Your Honor. So when I had the phone conversation with Honorable Judge Thompson, it was explained to me if the damage on the vehicle was less than 500, I could go ahead and submit that into evidence. And the damages were within that price range, because the Audi was purchased at Audi Atlanta.
Excuse me, Madam Clerk, I do not have a copy of that app. I saw you put it labeled as Nguyen versus Nguyen, but it's actually someone else's name.
Okay, no problem, Judge.
Give me that. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the damages were they were under $500, but when they told me that they weren't really able to identify the problem, and I told them that he was a master mechanic that also worked on that same street, they had cautioned me that I would need another vehicle for my safety, because just the uncertainty of what was happening with my vehicle caused a very hazardous situation for myself, where I did have to call the DeKalb police because I was stranded with that vehicle, with my children in the vehicle.
Now, I'm gonna ask you a question. Are these children by Mr. Michael Nguyen?
Yes, I was assaulted, and I had to speak to the special victims unit because of that, because he basically tried to take my freedom. And as I'm, getting some liberation, I'm able to go ahead and just speak out on behalf of myself and my children.
So did you ever file a divorce?
Divorce was finalized, I believe, September 6th of 2022.
Okay, but you indicated earlier to me that you were not married to him, that you were adopted by him. So how did you get a divorce?
Oh, I was adopted by another individual. The divorce was on paper because I was attacked by him. It was unconsensual, and it was, I guess you consider its technical term was a date rape. And I had never been pregnant. And he had stayed home and he had told me that I was indeed impregnated by him. And he had asked to just have me sign papers stating that it was a marriage, and he had a house to put me on the deed and things of that nature. But as far as when the divorce took place and things of that nature, we were not intimate as a normal
That's not what I'm
marital
asking.
couple.
Okay, let me ask you a question. See, what you're not asking my questions. My questions are, first of all, first question I asked you, were you married? At any point were you married to him? And you said no, you weren't married to him. Y'all was roommates. You said that you were adopted by him. And then later on, you indicated during your testimony that you were got a divorce from him on last year.
No, Your Honor, I just want to explain. So when I said that my adopted name was my maiden name, and I was married on paper. We went to the courthouse.
Okay, you and he have kids together. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you guys were intimate. Y'all in a relationship. Y'all had children, and as a result of that, you and he end up filing at some point. Whoever filed a divorce, you filed a divorce, and now at this moment, you and he are divorced. That was done on, according to your testimony, on September 26, 2022. Correct?
I believe it was September 6th, but
okay. Well, 6. I'm going by what you're saying, okay? Because I don't have any documentation from. Okay. And basically here you're alleging that he assaulted you or while you were pregnant, and you stalked you, stole, hacked emails and social media, tampered with your car, and somehow that was $500 or less worth of damage. Though regarding, I guess I'm assuming the car tampering, the car matter. Is that correct?
Yes, the car tampering was that amount.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add to it?
Yes, I did want to add that I had put a temporary protective order against him. When I contacted the police numerous times, he would flee the location. Hence why, I had to, go out and submit an application. There was also an application that was submitted.
Let me ask you a question. You said you placed a temporary protective order against him. When did you do that?
The first temporary protective order was 2022.
Okay. And that next time it was that a temporary, was it a 12-month order? What happened at the hearing?
It was a 12-month hearing, Your Honor. He wasn't present for that hearing. So it didn't stand up in court. He had continually contacted me and I had saw his vehicle. So when I spoke to some of the detectives, because the judge also had told me to file a temporary protective order and to get my children into safety. But when I wasn't able to locate him, the sheriffs told me that they weren't able to, deliver the temporary protective order affidavit to him.
Okay, which time was that? Well, you said was that in 2022 or was that another recent time?
I believe it was 2022 because there was 2 applications that I filed during that time.
Okay, were both, in any one of those applications, was there a 12-month order issued?
I believe it's called a pro. I don't know. I don't want to say pro se. It's
You're the person that's pro se. You brought the order. You bring it forth. You're the pro se person.
It's like a hearing where it's.
I know exactly what it is. My question to you was there at any point in time was this from this temporary, was a 12-month order issued in any of your cases?
Yes, I believe, to my understanding, when we had the hearing, I had the hearing with the judge and I submitted the evidence, and it was 12 months, and he was given the opportunity to rebuttal as to why the 12 months should not stand.
And did you guys have a hearing on that?
There was a hearing. It was in the sense it was dismissed. He wasn't shown, and there was no address for him.
Madam Clerk, is there any way we can pull up and find out if we can find out? Let me see if I can do this. I can go on Odyssey. Should I be able to see these hearings on Odyssey? Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Judge, to be honest, I'm not sure.
Let me see if I can see it on Odyssey. Okay, Ms. Nguyen, is there anything else you want to tell me?
And just in closing, outside of the temporary protective order, I also needed, I just wanted to make sure that it was known to the court that I needed surgery from the damages that took place after that as well. And there was also a civil suit that was also filed. And again, he never was either served or he was hiding from the sheriffs.
Okay. All right. Do you have any information regarding your medical bills and all that kind of stuff that you received as a result of this? Or medical records? Ms. Nguyen, do you have any medical records? I'm sorry, you're on mute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes, I do have medical records, Your Honor, from the Palm City Beach emergency room where I was admitted after he assaulted me. Also from Emory Healthcare.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Why do you have medical records from Palm Beach? And what does that have to do with your situation? I'm just trying to understand. How does Palm Beach, because that's a whole different state.
Oh, he had assaulted me. He assaulted me another time. Okay, pertaining to this specific assault, I do have medical bills from Emory Healthcare.
Okay. All right. Okay. Mr. Nguyen, you're not required to say anything. You're not required to testify at all. Not required to present any evidence, but you do have an opportunity if you desire to cross-examine Ms. Nguyen regarding this matter. I want to be careful between cross-examination and testifying, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. I do have a question for you, Your Honor.
Huh?
I know I submitted a protection order. Does this violate my protection order since it's indirect contact from an alleged incident that occurred 5 years ago?
No, it does not. It does not violate it because you're in a court proceeding. Okay,
I just want to ask to be sure because to me, this is not new or what she's doing. She has been contacting the wellness check and defects to get me in jail for whatever reason because of ever since the divorce has been finalized, she has been trying to make my life miserable.
Okay.
And
all right.
So,
I mean, are you testifying or is that what your testimony is?
Yeah, I'll testify.
Okay, well, go ahead. You've been sworn in, so tell me what's going
on. Right here, it says I got the paper. I no longer live at 3111 Tarrant Way. So I don't know why it's mailed there. And it is in the divorce decree that I updated my mailing address.
Okay.
So
now, one second. Let me get this question out from Ms. Nguyen. Mrs. Samara Nguyen, where did you allege that this incident occurred? Let me look in your paperwork. Okay, hold on one second. I don't have to ask you. Let me look in your paperwork. Okay, it says that this matter happened in Brookhaven, Decatur. Okay. Who lives in Brookhaven, Decatur?
It was I. I was on the main lease, and
yeah, but
she was
I got you. I got you. But where the incident, so Miss Nguyen, you're saying that this matter happened in the house when you and he were living together?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you said that the date was from 2018 to 2022. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's what you have. Okay. All right, Mr. Nguyen, please tell me what you have to tell me.
Okay, I'm a little confused here because of the paper I received that I have a criminal trespass and simple battery on January 1st of 2018 at midnight. And it didn't give me any other, like that's the offense date. And it says the description here that the accused has happened at 3111 Tarrant Way. It doesn't mention anything about Brookhaven. So I need some clarification. I'm pretty lost here.
Well, I'm not here to clarify. I'm here for you to, if that's what you're presenting, that's the information that you're presenting. Is that what you're saying? Because right here I have, it says, how do you know this person rented a room in a house online, assaulted me before and after I was pregnant, stalked me, stole, had my email, social media, also tampered with my car. So it broke down. I was driving my kids all night. We were stranded, could have had an accident. They asked him, when did it happen? 2018 through 2022. Time, 8 o'clock. Where? Brookhaven, Decatur. Dollar amount, $50,000.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
That's what I have. That's what I have for the application. Let me see. Let me see what else I got. I just got an email. Let me just see what else I got here. Okay. I do have here, there was a temporary families violence ex parte protective order that was issued. That was on behalf of Mr. Michael Nguyen. Got a temporary final divorce decree, final protection order. Mr. Nguyen does have a final protection order that was heard on, that he held on November 22nd, 2022. And in that, he was granted a 12-month protective order against the respondent. And the respondent in this matter is Samara Nguyen. Except only the divorce decree and parent planning. Let me see. It was effective for 12 months. All right. This is what I'm going to do. I looked at the evidence in this matter, and Miss Samara Nguyen, I don't find you credible. Okay. And because even in your application, you said you was renting from him and it was online. You guys had been in a relationship. You guys have been married before, and you did not reveal or state anything about this man being your ex-husband, that he had these protective orders against you. So based upon that, I'm going to find there's insufficient evidence because of your credibility to issue.
I did have a protective order, but I can give you the protective order number for DeKalb County.
Okay. I know what I'm just looking at is what was granted to him on November 22nd for a period of 1 year.
And that was the second application. And I had to do it between 2018 and 2022. But if you see the police report that I submitted, that was 2020 in November, where it says I was assaulted while I was pregnant. Okay. So it clearly states that.
Well, if that was the case, you have 2 years from that date in order to prosecute this matter, and that was not done.
That was done because I do have a receipt from the judge where I had a hearing that was submitted. But the fact that he had sexually assaulted myself and my children, they wanted me to go ahead and file felony charges against him.
Well, then that'll be addressed in the felony, but this is not. I'm not addressing felonies.
Right now I'm addressing assault. Assault was a misdemeanor.
But right now,
the incident number that I gave you, it was
Miss Nguyen. The application in this matter, for there's an insufficient probable cause, and
it's okay, Your Honor.
This matter be dismissed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen and Ms. Nguyen. You may be excused.
I shouldn't have even been on a fucking video because that's fucking ridiculous.
I tell you
Just
what,
wanna fucking see me.
Miss Nguyen, I'm going to end up finding you in contempt, and that you will find yourself in jail if I hear you curse one more time. Do you understand that?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may be excused. Thank you. Ryan McClure, and you will get an order.
Yes.
How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Okay. Did we get an address proper for this, Madam Clerk? Or do we know? Or did it come back?
No, Judge, the office didn't get no notification saying that they will be absent. The mail was sent out on July 26, 2023.
What do you mean a proper address?
Well, I need to make sure the person was properly notified of this.
The individual lives with me. This individual has went from one county to another county, went from Fulton County. I'm out on 2 bonds trying to run from this individual, paid off my bonds, and this individual is over here in DeKalb County committing the same crime. I don't know how he's doing these things. Now, I have a video. This man threw lighter fluid on me, I had the video. They're allowing this, and I had the DeKalb County Police Department just came out to my house yesterday. I'm fighting this man at my house. Blood is all over my entire house.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did they took an incident report? Is that correct?
They did it twice. I'm talking about now. This was top the cake, Judge. Okay, I'm not gonna let nobody throw no lighter fluid on me. We can do that now.
Mr. McClure. All right, this is a courtroom, first of all. Okay?
I understand that, but you have to understand, I'm on 2 bonds because of this individual, and I just got out of jail, be trying to fight with it, and had to file a temporary protection order on it. I understand.
I'm first of all, in order for me to take any of your testimony, you're gonna raise your right hand, okay? Okay, you swear from any information you give gonna be the truth, the whole truth, under penalty of perjury.
Yes.
Okay. Now. Okay, so tell me what I'm looking at your police report. So tell me what transpired. Do you have any other witnesses besides yourself?
No.
Okay. All right. Tell me what happened.
The problem is, Judge, this man is following me from one county, from Fulton County to all the way over here to DeKalb County. So the individual actually lives in Rexy, Georgia, but he was staying with me. And I went to jail over there in Fulton County. He done went out and filed false warrants. He done out here, he can't take no for an answer for a relationship. Then he lied and said he gonna act right. He don't pay no bills. He don't do none of this. Then come over here and do it in DeKalb County. I done went to jail. I done served 2 warrants in both counties. Just got out last month. The judge just told me, if you're gonna be done with him, Mr. McClure, you need to file a restraining order. I just filed a TPO. Got a court again this week for the TPO. Now, 2 days ago, this individual throwing lighter fluid, trying to set me on fire. I had to show it to the police to say, y'all, your whole entire precinct knows who we are. Because now that I showed them the video, they see him, what he'll do is he'll wait.
I got what you're saying, but I have a report. Let's talk about the matter that you have alleged in your application. That was on July 19, 2023.
I'm just be a dead man. I'm just gonna be a dead man playing with this man on just spirits. Y'all gonna let this man kill me. All y'all judges in this courtroom, y'all gonna let this man kill me.
Mr. McClure, I cannot talk about what transpired the other day. I need to talk about what you put in your application. The application was for July 19, 2023. That's what this incident. That's the one I want you to focus on.
Right. I'm focused on I'm running for my life. I'm running for my life. The whole entire situation.
It's focus on that date. Okay, tell me what transpired on that date.
That day he maced me.
Okay,
that's what he did. He maced me. Don't you see it? Don't you see it in my face that I'm tired? Don't you see it in my face? I'm over it.
I don't know you, Princess. I can't see it in your face, but I want you to tell me what transpired. That's what I'm trying to understand. So listen to what I'm saying, so you can tell me what transpired on July 19, 2023.
Mr. Pelez got off work from Target, was not allowed. This individual got a job. lives way out in Rex, Georgia. The individual, it's a Briarcliff runs in from North Druid Hills to always runs to North Druid Hills to La Vesta. The individual in the walking from all the way from Target coming down purchased mace at Target and came to my door. He already had my keys, a copy of my keys to my house. The individual came into my house. When I opened the door, I had to tussle with him, mace me. I'm all in my Mercer University shirt, got mace all on my shirt, all this, all on that. I had to call the police. Police are very aware. They was like, didn't we just arrest you and you got out and then this situation is occurring? What's going on with the individual? I said, I got a restraining order on him. I had to show them the restraining order papers, do the TPO, did everything that the judge asked me to do. What else you want? What else you want me to do? The boy don't want the young man don't want to pay no bills. It ain't gonna work. It's just not gonna work. It can't get away. I don't know how he knows these laws with this situation, this criminal justice system. Who he knows down in the courtroom, how he doing this situation. He's doing it. It ain't no I'm lying or making this up. No, we're not finna play those type of games at all. I'm too old for that. I'm telling you, this is what happened. The man came to my house and he maced me. That's what he did. I've probably only been out, probably jail for probably like 3 weeks. And during that time when I filed the report, did the report, I got the police report. The video was on my phone for him throwing. It don't get no worse than that. The judge, when the police officer seen me last night, that was like, he was talking a good game. But him throwing lighter fluid on you and then trying to set you on fire, yeah.
So in here, the report that I have, it shows or it says
it's not going to say there's lighter fluid this part because this happened. This is high.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
The July 19, 2023 report that we have here is alleged the victim as being Mr. Kenneth Ples, okay? And you are the suspect, Mr. Ryan Dean. You're what they call the offender, Ryan Dean McClure, okay? And in that, it alleges that that Mr. McClure said he observed the victim, Mr. standing on the patio and directly in front of the door disputing with the suspect, Ryan McClure. As I began to approach him, the victim attempted to run inside the home and the suspect pushed him back outside. Due to the nature of the call, I instructed the victim to come towards me. Once he did so, I immediately detained him. When he asked why he was being detained, I explained it was due to being a burglary call and me observing him attempt to run inside. He explained that he lives at the location and that he called the police. The victim stayed on the day's day at approximately 2100 hours. He and suspect were laying on the bed when the suspect asked him if he wanted to have a threesome. He stated he did not, and suspect still called another male from them to meet them at the location. Once the male arrived, he came through the front door and the victim immediately became upset and instructed him to leave, but he refused. Because of this, he and the suspect got into an argument about the male being there. The victim decided to call the police and attempt to get the male removed. He advised he waited on the patio until my arrival. Due to the previous encounter I've had with the suspect and the victim at the same location, I knew the victim did not live at the location. The last time I responded, he advised he did not live there anymore. And prior to leaving that incident, the victim left the location, advised he was not coming back. When I asked him about this, he advised that he and the suspect got back on good terms after the incident began come back around. So did you live at this location? This location being 2209 Briarcliff Road?
That's my address.
Okay.
That's my address. It ain't no did I live. It's my address. He's forging his name as his address. Yeah, he was like, we was trying to, all this other type of stuff. But that police report that you're reading is several more police reports that's behind that police report that you're reading. And there was another police report that next probably two or 3 days behind that when he maced me. That's what made me file this warrant application. This warrant application does not have nothing to do with that report that you're reading. That's another report. I have about 4 or 5 or more police reports behind that. We're not even finna play those type of games at all. Mr. Ples is a liar, and he cannot come back to my house, and he still come back to my house. And when we got into it, and when the situation has occurred, the police officer allowed him, you know what I'm saying? Because, them coming over to my house over a period of time, almost 3 months in those 3 months, almost 90 days, of course, they're going to say that he lives there. Yeah, he does. Because of the fact that they seen him over the time, and numerous of times the police are coming over to my house. Mr. McClure, we know that Mr. Ples is living here. Now that the restraining order is in effect, they know that I don't want no dealings with him.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So you're saying, this is what I'm asking you. So I have the report in your application. You said the date of incident was July 19, 2023. And that's the report I read you. Okay. And you said at my home. You said time frame around 4 p.m. I'm like, listen, you the one, you fill this out. I didn't fill this out.
First of all, Judge, I'm not a liar about anything.
But you
talking about my life and is in danger. 4 p.m. is where he got off work. The man got off at work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening, whatever you want to call it. He came to the house when the report was done. That's probably when your officer done the report, and he had a key to my house. I can't
Okay. All right. Okay. I got it. So in this incident, what on July 19th, you allege a couple of things. You have battery, looks like some kind of stalking, and basically you allege that damaging my home twice.
Yeah, he was doing
not to return. Listen, let me finish. Threatened to kill me. My manager told him I was dead. She has the messages. Mr. Kenny Ples is jumping county causing problems. He damaging my other home in Fulton,
yes,
where we got into an altercation, and he tried to stab me twice and mace me on July 19, 2023. Now, is this, so he maced you here? This is where he maced you at the July 19th?
Yeah, in Fulton, in DeKalb County at 2209, yes.
Okay, that's where he maced you. Okay, that's why I want to make sure I understand what was going on. Because we're talking all over. Okay, I need us to focus. Okay.
I know it sounds all over. I know it sounds all over the place because of the fact that of the situations of him going down and going into these courthouses and making up. And what he'll do is, I'm not gonna play with him. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna put my hands on you if I gotta get you out of my house and drag you out of my house because you're not allowed to be in here. Well, the fact is, the fact that if you taking butcher knives and trying to kill me and trying to take my life. And like the police officer said, you got to do what you got to do, Mr. McClure, because if he got the restraining order on him, and he there trying to come at you, and then he got gasoline, and he got lighter fluid, Judge. Come on now.
Yeah, I want to just make sure I understand everything that's going on, the dynamics. Okay, I know you have you had a subsequent situation that transpired. However, I have to make sure I focus on the one that was alleged in this on July 19th. Okay, that's when you said he sprayed the mace in your face.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, I've heard enough. And what I'm gonna do is I want to issue a matter that there's probable cause. Sufficient probable cause to bound this case over.
All right.
And Madam Clerk, what happens at this point? Do I need to issue a warrant? I actually got to put a...
Yes, so I'll go ahead and send Mr. McClure the instructions to come down to sign the warrant.
Okay. All right, do you hear that, Mr. McClure?
I hear it.
She's going to send you the instructions to come down and sign the warrant, okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.